Hi, I'm Dan Cortopassi. Today I'm reviewing an HO scale 3-bay hopper from Tangent Scale Models. My model is decorated in the Southern Railway Brown as Delivered scheme. I got my car as a review sample from Mike's Trains in Thomasville, North Carolina. The MSRP for this car is $46.95. The lowest prices I found for these cars online were around $40. We'll start the model at 100 possible points. According to the box, this model is appropriate for layouts set in 1975 and later. Kudos to Tangent for putting this information on the box, as it helps era-conscious modelers to make informed purchasing decisions. The cardboard box has a clear plastic window on top. Inside, a two-piece plastic cradle protects the model. A layer of flexible plastic film helps to protect against scratches. This is a good box that should protect the model for storage and transport. According to the information on the Tangent website, these 100-ton coal hoppers were built by Pullman Standard for the Southern Railway in the 1970s. This particular car was built in July 1975. These cars had some features that distinguished them from similar cars built for other railroads, like the low-mounted brake wheel on the B end. I found a photo of this exact car on the Tangent website taken in 1980. The model looks to be a near-exact match with respect to detail and paint. The only incorrect thing I could find is the small tackboard and the stencil next to it should be flipped, so that the tackboard is on the right side of this panel and the stencil is on the left. I'm guessing that this is minor enough that it wouldn't bother most people, so I'm going to let it slide. The paint on the car is opaque and thin enough to allow the excellent rivet and panel detail to show through. The lettering is crisp and the small stencils are legible with magnification. Just like the real thing, there's a lot of stenciling on this car. The road name and car numbers are even repeated on the center sill underneath. At the corners, the car has wire grab irons and plastic stirrup steps. The individual components of the steps look a little thick compared to prototype photos, a likely concession to making them more durable. On the ends, the car has more freestanding wire grabs. Wire is also used for the brake system plumbing on the B end. The brake wheel on the B end is nicely done and has a photo-etched platform underneath. The car has wire uncoupling levers and flexible rubber air hoses. The hoses are nice because they won't break if they get bumped, but the hoses on my car are both sticking out at odd angles. The one on the A end is especially bad. I'm sure these are fixable, but you shouldn't have to do that, so I'm taking 5 points. On top, the car has a removable coal load. I was able to pry it out by putting my uncoupling tool under one end. Using a plastic tool should minimize the chances of damaging the car in the process. With the load out, the interior bracing inside the car is visible. I really like how the subtle angled contours of the side panels are repeated on the inside of the car. There's a noticeable gap between the lower parts of the car, which feel like they're made of die-cast metal, and the upper parts, which are plastic. For me, this is a reasonable trade-off since the car has a good weight to it, unlike a lot of open-top cars which tend to be too light. Underneath, the car has nice discharge gate detail. The center sill even has holes, though they wouldn't be seen from normal viewing angles. The trucks have metal wheels with the standard RP25 profile. Tangent's website says that semi-scale tread replacement wheels are available. The end caps on the axles rotate. The car has Katy scale couplers on both ends. Looking for a match on the horizontal center line, the coupler on the A end is slightly low, so I'm taking 5 points. The coupler on the B end is also slightly low. All the wheels are engaged according to the NMRA standards gauge. The car wobbles, meaning that the body keeps wiggling after the wheels have settled on the track, so I'm taking 5 points. The car weighs 4.2 ounces with the coal load and 3.9 ounces without. The NMRA recommended weight for a car of this length is about 4.3 ounces. I like that the car's weight is still almost there even without the load, really good for an open car. On my workbench, the car has some significant rolling resistance. It's bad enough that a train of these might cause issues on a layout, so I'm taking 5 points. To see if there's anything I can do about the rolling resistance, first I'll need to remove the trucks from the car. After taking a close look at them, I noticed that the brake shoes seem to be touching the wheels, acting just like real brakes. The wheels on trucks with spinning axle end caps can usually be removed by pushing them downward. I'm using a file to remove some material from the backs of the brake shoes, which end up very close to the wheel flanges. The parts of the brake shoes that face the wheel treads are concave, so I'm using a hobby knife to scrape away some material since it's hard to get a file in there. This is Neolube, a liquid graphite lubricant. I'll apply some to the clips that hold the axle ends with a microbrush. The liquid will evaporate, leaving a graphite coating. After reassembling the trucks, they're quite a bit better. I can roll them across my workbench pretty easily now. With the trucks off the car, I can see that the rubber air hoses have a little prong on the side and there's a small hole in the side of the draft gear box. After some fiddling, I was able to get these back together. It's not quite perfect, but at least the hose ends are hanging the way they're supposed to now. I'll secure the rubber parts with a dab of canopy glue. Hopefully that will keep them from popping out again. To fix the coupler height, I'm using some 10/1000 thrust washers from my stash of parts. These raise the car just enough to get the couplers in the right spot. In the process of reassembling the car, I'm tightening the bolster screw on the B-end truck until it pivots but won't rock side to side. That should cure the body wobble. The car definitely rolls a lot better now, though it's still not as free-rolling as some cars. In general, I've noticed that cars with spinning end caps sometimes don't roll quite as freely as cars with conventional axles. Mike's Trains included a set of tangent replacement trucks when they sent the car. Let's give those a try. These trucks don't have the separate brake shoe detail and they lack spinning end caps. They have more conventional needlepoint axles. The car rolls even more freely with these. To look right, the side frames would need to be painted to match the car. Another thing to keep in mind is cost. Going by the price sticker on the back of the package, each pair of trucks is $6.95. Replacing the trucks on a fleet of hoppers could really add up. I think the modified trucks work pretty well and I intend to leave them on my car. How well they work for you will probably depend on your operating goals. Since the modifications are fairly simple, I'd try that first. If unit train operation with a large number of cars is what you're after, and the modified cars still have enough rolling resistance to cause problems, then you might want to consider replacing the trucks. Let's see what we've got. The rubber brake hoses were out of place, so I took 5 points in the paint and detail category. The car had too low couplers, it wobbled, and it didn't roll freely, so I took a total of 20 points in the standards in operation category. That leaves us with 75 out of 100 possible points, which would be a C on a report card. Most of the operational issues are easily fixed, but the rolling resistance might cause problems for some modelers. I'm giving it a yellow signal. This is a really nice looking model from Tangent, though the operational issues may be a concern for some modelers. If you like this video, then please like and subscribe. Stay tuned and thanks for watching.